Good evening, Friday Night Bulldog fans. We hope everyone is doing well on this nice football weather-esque Friday here at WL Odom Field. I am standing next to Harlan Johnson and Rick Boyne, the pastor of Emmanuel Baptist Church. Rick, we appreciate you coming on and hope you're going to enjoy Friday Night Bulldogs.
Well, thanks for inviting me. It's exciting to be up here in the press box and hope to have a really good time with you guys tonight.
And you guys know Harlan by now. This will be his fourth game on Friday Night Bulldogs. He's actually got one up on me as I skipped out a little bit on prior. So appreciate Harlan Johnson being with us. He's an 04 grad of Wagner, America. And Harlan, it really is a great night for some football.
It's a good night for some football, Jeremy. Outside the press box, I might add, we're trying to get some airflow in here,
Yeah.
but we're taking one for the team so that we can be here. Bulldogs versus Catoosa to you guys at home.
And we hope everything is coming over loud and clear. We should have a picture for you of the band, and hopefully you will find that that picture is a little bit closer than what we've had in the past as we've switched cameras. And so we're going to be having some really nice view of up close and personal. And you're going to hear in the background our stadium announcer, Shelley Sperling, as the band takes the field, and we enjoy a moment of silence and the national anthem. We'll let you listen in.
And their family members and friends of the savage massacre at the Jewish-run Kenyon Mall. Our hearts are broken by the horrific detail. In their honor and to remember them, may we humble ourselves in just a moment. And ladies and gentlemen, please also direct your attention toward the south end zone tonight. We will have a special pair of gentlemen accompanying the scouts while they raise the flag. They are Lance Corporal Christian Sloan, and give a special welcome home also to Corporal Gavin Trueblood. These gentlemen recently returned home Sunday from 4 years of active duty service in multiple tours of duty throughout the United States and the world. Again, please give these Marines a special thank you, and if you have a moment, shake their hands. Thank you, Corporal Trueblood and Lance Corporal Sloan. And now, ladies and gentlemen, let's humble ourselves in a few moments of silence. Thank you. And ladies and gentlemen, please join me as we pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Fellow Americans and Oklahomans, remain standing as our flag is raised by the Marines and Cub Scout Pack 637, and join in singing our national anthem, which will be played this evening by the Wagner High School Marching Band under the direction of Jeremy Williams and Dave Smith.
We hope that came loud and clear for you at home as the Wagner High School Band played the national anthem, and we appreciate everyone that's logged on to Friday Night Bulldogs. Hope you enjoyed that close-up view of Old Glory as we have changed cameras this week, and hopefully we're going to get a lot better shots of what's going on down the field. We appreciate Miss Joy Anderson of Wagner High School and the Mass Communications class helping make Friday Night Bulldogs possible. And again, I'm joined alongside Rick Boyne and Harlan Johnson. And boys, you know, you never really can tell. Harlan and I talked about this a couple of days ago. You really can't tell. We like to look at scores, Rick, and who's played who and how they've done. And Catoosa has done well against Fort Gibson, beat Fort Gibson last week, but also I think was blown out maybe by another team. And nevertheless, Rick, we do that, but when it comes to getting out on the field, the team's out on the field, it really doesn't matter. It matters who shows up tonight.
Oh, absolutely. It's an exciting time as we watch our young men out there on the field doing the best they can, and frankly, they're doing just mighty good this year. Very exciting to see it. I got to take just a second and say how proud I am. I have two players on the field right now in the band. My two daughters, Audrey and Emily. Audrey's a senior this year. She plays the clarinet. No, I'm sorry, she plays the flute. And Emily is a freshman this year, and she plays the clarinet. And it's exciting for me to be up here to see them down there right now.
And you know, there's a lot of people that it takes to make a Friday night high school game work and make it produced, I guess. And the band is definitely an integral part there, Harlan, of what goes on here on Friday night, along with all the other people that make Friday night happen. But the band, we never want to overlook the band. I was a band member myself, played trumpet, the best instrument out there. So much love to our Wagner High School band.
Absolutely.
For sure.
My kids are following in the footsteps of their mother, who was in the high school band. In fact, was drum major for 1 or 2 years at Bonita High School way back when. And if they get any musical ability from me, it's the ability to play the radio, and that's just about it.
I just got a text from former FNB crew member L.J. Kangas, said the audio and the video were both crystal clear.
Awesome.
So hopefully that same thing can be said at everyone at home that's logged on to Friday Night Bulldogs. Believe it or not, Harlan, word is still kind of getting out that Friday Night Bulldogs is back on a weekly basis, and hopefully tonight we'll have a large contingency signing on tonight.
Definitely, I think word's starting to get out. We're in Game 4 now, Jeremy, so it's always a little more difficult to get the big audience base, you know, at the home games. So especially next week versus McLean, I'd expect to have a huge following at that point. But we're excited about bringing all the games, not just the away games, with the home games and everything else. And hopefully you can hear in the background your Bulldogs coming out.
Yeah, I think you can, especially we got the door open, got a little breeze flowing, so you might hear a little bit more background noise than usual, but I hope everything is going well. You guys be sure to log on as the Catoosa Indians run onto the field. The Bulldogs have already shown up. They're at midfield. But we hope everybody is logged on. Get into that chat room. Let us know where you're listening from. And Rick's new to Friday Night Bulldogs somewhat, but I'm showing him our little chat room here, and we've got some people that are already logged on, and we appreciate that. Looks like Bomb Baby 1985. Hopefully that's going well for you, Regina. She's always Regina Little, always a Friday Night Bulldog faithful. She's logged on. Tell everybody that you know Friday Night Bulldogs is here. We got Wagner versus Catoosa. We're almost at kickoff, and I'm anxious to see what's going to go on.
It's going to be a good game, Jeremy. I think we're in for a treat. We already talked about last week Catoosa actually able to beat Fort Gibson in a last-second field goal, and so it was a good game there. I expect a good game here. The one we were talking about earlier, Catoosa getting sort of blown out by a team. It was Pryor, the Pryor Tigers. Took care of Catoosa 24-0, and we all know that Wagner went in and took care of business against Pryor with a 35-13 win. And so, but you just never know on the scores what it's going to be and how we need to figure out what the game is going to be like. So I expect a good one. First night of district play.
you can really get caught up in a lot of statistics. If you're in sports around long enough, it can be, every third Friday of a full moon and all kinds of stuff. This quarterback throws 3 touchdown passes. Rick, you've been around sports long enough to know that you can get caught up in a lot of stuff like that.
Oh, my word, yes. But here's the kickoff.
This is going to be number 6. This is Deshaun Clark going to return, looking for a wall, trying to get to that outside corner, and he is tripped up as he crosses the 25 to about the 28-yard line. We do not have a roster for Catoosa Indians, so I believe that was number 60 making the tackle for the Indians. So the Bulldogs will have it 1st and 10 in the first series of this first game of district play. 1st and 10 Bulldogs, ball on their own 28. What do you come out with, Harlan, here? We take it safe, or we go to the air right from the beginning?
Well, I think what you'll see from the Bulldogs is coming out and establishing the run game. That's kind of been what we've done all season long, and here comes the Wildcat, it looks like, Jeremy.
Yeah, just as you say that, we're in Wildcat formation. That's Evatt from the Wildcat. We've got Hawkins in the backfield. Here he is over the left side, and with boy, he is really flying, and it's every time he touches the ball, it's dangerous.
For sure. Every time the Evatt touches the ball, there's an opportunity to take it all the way. It doesn't matter if there's 3 defenders in front of him. He makes one move, and all of a sudden he's got room to spare.
We're going to give him a gain of 6, Rick, on the ball at the 34-yard line. 2nd and 4, you stay with the run, or you going to the air?
I believe I'd go to the air.
Well, we'll see what happens as the quarterback, that's Jake Woodson, checks into the lineup. We may see a pass. That's a pitch out to Evatt, short side of the field. And this time, Rick, Catoosa Indians were there to make the stop right at the line of scrimmage.
Took a little loss.
Yeah, he ran to the weak side of the field that time. There was just no space for him whatsoever that time around. No room to even make the move that I was talking about previously.
And now we are on the far hash. Maybe that was a setup to come this way, this play on a 3rd and about 4 from the 34.
3rd down and 4, Wagner.
We're just inside of kickoff, so if you're just logging on, you haven't missed much. Here's a 3rd and 4 for the Bulldogs. It's going to be Hawkins from the Wildcat this time. He fakes the handoff, and the Catoosa Indians are very quick in the backfield. That's actually going to be Hawkins is good to get right back to the line of scrimmage. I don't know if that was – it looked like a little bit of chaos in the background as Hawkins looked to fake the handoff, but there really wasn't much of a fake there.
Looked like there's a little bit of confusion there on that one, and 3rd down, and they may be trying to play it safe. 3rd and 4 or 5 there, so a little confusion. Hawkins not able to get anything, but I think the first drive, the importance of that is to show them a couple things to give them something a lot different a little bit later.
Yeah, that's a good point. That's 51, Dusty Swanson, that is shaken up on that play. He's walking off on his own power, so it's good to see that. It'll be a 4th and 4 for the Bulldogs. Number 4, Justice Beats, will punt it away for the Bulldogs. Good snap, a good punt, hanging high in the air, and a fair catch is made at the 34-yard line. That was a great punt, Rick. I believe that wind kind of helped it hang in the air a little bit.
Yes, it did, even though he was kicking into the wind. That was a mighty good kick. He's somebody to keep your eye on this year for sure. He's done a very good job this year.
He really has. Beats has been we've had all kinds of offensive weapons, but sometimes people forget, Harlan, that a punter can also be an offensive weapon.
Certainly can be an offensive weapon, or really, in this case, maybe even a defensive weapon, Jeremy, as pins Catoosa back.
Here's a pitch out to the tailback. He's got a little bit of room to run as he gets to about the 40-yard line, cut down by number 44, Roman Rodriguez. That was number 42, Hunter Harrison, the senior running back, and pretty good-sized lad. We don't have any weight or height on him, but from here, Harlan, he looks like a pretty good-sized boy.
I'll leave it at that. I'm not good at guessing, but he's a pretty good-sized boy. He's going to be difficult to bring down.
Quarterback up under center on a 2nd and 5 play. And again, Catoosa right now, as there's a helmet rolling down across midfield. Hopefully you guys were able to see that. As looks like number 70, Rick, That's Wyatt Pennington lost a little bit of his head there.
Yeah, his helmet went further than the ball did on that play.
It did. Pickup. We're going to call it a pickup of 3. Yeah, we'll give him 3. We'll call it a third and a long 2 from the 43-yard line. Indians will have to get to the 45 for the first down. Quarterback number 3, Caleb Wisley, or Wilsey, that is, as a flag comes in on the play. And wow, Harlan offsides. The Wagner Bulldogs defense lines up offsides. Very costly penalty early on in this game.
That's very costly. In fact, as they were going to the line of scrimmage, I almost jumped in there, said, I was going to point out it's a big third down as the Bulldogs come out, go 3 and out. You really want that to happen on the other side to get the offense back out there. And to have an offside penalty, I was cringing up here. I can just imagine what the coaches were doing. But, man, you never want to see that on a third down.
Ball placed at the 48-yard line. That's a 1st and 10 on Catoosa Indians' first drive of this young game. Quarterback Wilsey up under center. And here's a handoff to the fullback. He bounces it to the outside. And, again, making good yardage. Taz Henderson and Deshaun Clark on the stop. But number 42, Hunter Harrison, able to pick up about 7 on that play, Rick. 2nd and 3, and right now Catoosa lining up and say, stop us if we can.
Jeremy, they're doing pretty good, but you got to say that we've been helping them out just a little bit.
Well, we definitely did on that previous third down play for sure. 2nd and 3 from the Bulldog 45-yard line. Wilsey up under center. Here's a pitch out to number 8 over the right side, trying to make that corner, and he's going to get first down yardage as Beats and company make the stop right at the sticks. But that was number 8, Devin Hemphill, junior running back for the Indians, and he is going to pick up first down yardage. 1st and 10 for the Indians on the Bulldog 42-yard line. Harlan again, Catoosa early, pretty impressive.
Pretty impressive. They're taking advantage of that mistake by the Bulldog defense early. And it's all about, we've talked about every week, momentum, and they're taking it right now. Looks like the Bulldogs jumping again there. I don't know if the quarterback here is using some form of hard count, or the Bulldogs are just anxious to tackle some Indians or something, but jumping across the line.
That's another 5 free yards for the Indians as the ball is placed at the 37-yard line. It's a 1st and 5. And usually in these type of situations, you see a deep ball into the end zone. We'll see what the Indians decide to do. Wilsey's going to be up under center with Hemphill and Harrison in the backfield. This is number 12 this time as Rodriguez makes a great tackle for the Bulldogs. Number 12 for the Indians is Darren Fowler, another senior running back. But Rodriguez making a good defensive stop, actually for a loss of 1 back to the 39-yard line.
Yeah, it was a good job by the Bulldog defense there. The Indians actually came out in sort of a pro set formation that time, and that's something the Bulldogs haven't seen yet on this young season. So here beginning district play, has seen some new offensive things being thrown at them, but they were able to deal with it there.
Wilsey up under center. Looks like a running play again, and this time I believe that's number 8, Devin Hemphill. And right now, Rick, there's no secret of what the Indians are going to do. They're lining up, not even any wideouts, two running backs in the backfield, and for all signs, it's a run. And from this point up until this point, it has been a run.
Well, Jeremy, if they keep doing that, we're going to catch on, and they're going to have to do something else. And go ahead and let them do the same play over and over and over. We'll catch on in a minute.
3rd and 4 from the 36-yard line. Here's that same set. They're going to throw this time. Wilsey got a man, and he tried to pick it up off the carpet, but the pass is incomplete. And that might not have been an accurate picture of what the Indians have as a passing game, but that was some great defensive pressure by Hawkins, and maybe that made him throw it a little early.
Yeah, it was a scripted bootleg there. That's what they've been trying to do, is set that play up. Didn't go exactly as they had it drawn up because Hawkins had some room up the middle. to come after him there, and basically just made that pass go a little low.
Here's a 4th and 4. The Indians decide they're going to go for it. Here's Hemphill over the right side, and he is not going to make it, Rick, as the Bulldog defense holds on a 4th down.
They've come alive tonight. We're going to see them work now.
That was a great job, Jeremy. I believe it was KJ Lee that made the stop. There for a second, the Catoosa Indians were going to have the opportunity to push that past the 1st down marker. Not quite able to do that because big KJ Lee able to push them back.
Yeah, I think that they might have even lost a yard on that. So the Bulldogs, a little shaky at the start as the Indians just lined up and ran the ball. Made a big defensive stop there. Now a little bit of confusion on the offensive side for the Bulldogs.
Yeah, a little confusion. Going to see a timeout here. Look, yep, there it is right there. The Bulldogs going to take the timeout. This is an important, really important drive for the Wagner Bulldogs. Can't have any mishaps here. You go 3 and out in the first offensive series. You just can't do that twice in a row.
And I think you guys were able to see it in the bottom left-hand corner of your screen at home. You saw, Rick, Coach Condit out beyond the numbers out on the field. You knew he was upset having to burn a timeout early.
Exactly right, Jeremy. He needed to get the boys together and have us all on the same page for the same play this time.
It may be a little early, but I believe they may be having a come to Jesus meeting down there on the sidelines.
Absolutely, it's never fun to have one of those when you're a player, and it's not fun to give one of those when you're a coach, I imagine. But
we got 6 minutes left in this first quarter. No score as the Bulldogs are beginning their second drive of the game. They actually went 3 and out, Harlan, to start this game. Catoosa put together a little bit of a drive, but the Bulldogs were able to hold on 4th down.
Able to hold, and this is their opportunity. As already said, this is a very important offensive series for them to get something started, get it going in the right direction, and then take that for the rest of the game. And I think that's why this was such an important timeout. Yes, it's early in the half, even early, well, right at the midpoint of the quarter, but an important timeout to stop, talk about it, either calm everybody down because it's the first district game or get everybody motivated because they came out a little flat, whatever the case was. They're back on the field now, and it looks like Evatt's going to have them in the Wildcat formation.
That is Hawkins from the Wildcat on a 1st and 10. He's straight up the gut, and the Catoosa Indians are there to make the stop again. They're going to actually tackle him in the backfield for a loss. Number 30, Hagan Harrison, leading the charge for the Indians.
Yeah, and it looks like, once again, Coach Condit, as you can probably see out there, out past the numbers one more time, not happy that they took the timeout, talked about it, and it didn't go as planned, apparently, because he's letting them know about it. And now they're huddling up to talk about this one.
Hawkins was able to get back to the original line of scrimmage, ball placed at the 34-yard line. It's a 2nd and 10 now, as it's Woodson from the shotgun. Evatt in the backfield. And Woodson with the fake. Now Evatt on to the other side, and he's able to get positive yardage to about the 39-yard line. We'll give him a pickup of 4. It's going to be 3rd and 6. And right now the Wagner Bulldog fans might be in somewhat of a panic because we're not real used, Rick, to seeing the Bulldogs go 3 and out, and especially if it happens on the second drive in a row, we may see a little bit more panic.
Well, that's exactly right, Jeremy. As a fan in the stands, I'm used to seeing points on the board by this time, and I think everybody else is as well. Let's need to get the
Here's an I formation. This is Evatt. Evatt trying to pick his way through. He breaks into the secondary. He may be off to the races. And one man is there, and he is able to make that tackle. It's his namesake, or number's sake, I should say.
Flag on the play.
Number 1, Nathan Verano. And Harlan, I think everyone could see if Verano was not able to at least slow Evatt up, he's gone.
Oh, it was a foot race there for a little bit. Looked like he was going to have a chance to put a move on. Had somebody coming from behind him, but all of a sudden he turned upfield, and they weren't close to him anymore. But Verano able to push him back. But there's a flag on the play, Jeremy, and it's going to go against Wagner. It looked like it was a legal block in the back, and I don't know. I've slept since then, but I'm pretty sure we talked about that last week, Jeremy, at least 3 or 4 times.
Yes, we did, and it may may be the same case here, as it's marked from the foul, from the spot of the foul, a 10-yard penalty. The gain is still enough for a first down, so it'll be 1st and 10 Bulldogs. Ball on the 43-yard line of the Indians. Here, Evan on the pitch out to the near side, and right now, Rick, number 1 is having trouble finding any kind of space.
Yes, he is indeed, but when he does break free, as a good word says, he'll be free indeed, because he can really run when he gets a chance.
He is so dangerous in the open field, and just right now we haven't seen a whole lot of that, but you might as well bank on it. It will happen by the end of this, if not by the end of this quarter, by at least the end of the half.
Exactly right.
He lost one on that play. 2nd and 11, Woodson up under center. Here's Hawkins over the right side. Hawkins puts his shoulder down, and he is still on his feet. He's at the 10, the 5, and he dives for it. No signal yet. Touchdown, Bulldogs.
Yep, there it is, Jeremy.
There it finally is, Harlan. It took him a while. You saw the referee standing there shaking his head, but he wouldn't put his arms up for the score.
Yeah, they were looking at each other. The ambulance turned its lights on. They called it first, and the referee said, well, we better go along with it because the crowd's going crazy.
might have been. They were wanting to get out of here alive tonight, so maybe they thought they ought to go ahead and call it. That was a great run by Hawkins. Thought he was tackled really at the line of scrimmage, broke a couple of tackles, and that he able to keep his feet downfield as that guy spun him around. Rick, that was really impressive.
That certainly was, Jeremy. It's a pity we couldn't see the whole play from this end of the press box, but that's what we'll take.
Here's Rowland for the extra point, and he just got that in on the left upright to make the score. Wagner Bulldogs 7, the Catoosa Indians 0. We were just talking about Evatt in the open field and the speed that he has. We can't forget about Hawkins. He is a powerful runner, but he's also got some very deceptive speed also.
Yeah, we got to see both of those things on that run there. We already talked about, not a whole lot of room when he first gets the ball. All of a sudden makes a move, gets some room, breaks a tackle, gets hit again, does a little spin move, stays on his feet, runs down, doesn't get pushed out of bounds, and has the wherewithal to dive into the end zone and basically just power his way, will his way across that line.
Well, he had about another 30 yards to go after he was spun around, and he was able to. It was really a foot race to the end line, to the end zone. And he was able to dive there at the last and make that score. Hopefully you guys were able to see that at home very clearly on your laptops or your computers, wherever you may be sitting. Rick, I know you're not real familiar with Friday Night Bulldogs, but they hook it up to their big screen TVs, and some of our Friday night some of the FNB Nation, they sit in their living rooms with the family watching it on the big screen.
Well, that's no different than what we do at our house when we're not able to go to a game.
And here's a problem now, and that was almost a really, really bad decision by the Catoosa Indians. And it didn't really look, Harlan, as if the ball went out of bounds, but they went ahead and threw the flag real early.
Yeah, well, it looked like the flag came out before the hit even happened. And, Jeremy, I'm kind of sticking my head out the window with a weird look on my face because I'm not real sure what that even was.
It looked like the Catoosa Indian kick returner was still standing in bounds, and he ended up catching it, and then the hit came. But the flag, like you said, Harlan, that had come in way before the hit was even made. So I'm not sure what the call is going to be.
And I'm not sure they know what it is yet. The refs are all talking about it now. They give the signal that it is going to be Catoosa ball. I didn't think there was any confusion about that. But we haven't gotten anything else, so maybe they've chosen to pick the flag up, or
I think they have maybe waved the flag off, but there's a little concern of the Catoosa Indian kick returner. I think the way he kind of looked at the ref right there at the end before he even caught it, and Deshaun Clark was able to put a pretty good lick on him right when he caught that.
Definitely, and it looks like the head referee is over talking to the Catoosa head coach and maybe one of the players, and I have no idea.
He's certainly not talking to the Indian faithful, as they didn't like the call at all. But nevertheless, all of that translates into a first down for the Catoosa Indians. The ball is at the 22-yard line, their own 22-yard line. Here's a handoff straight up the middle, and Rodriguez is there to make the stop. Our first quarter sponsor for Friday Night Bulldogs is Van Taekwondo. Mr. Rick Van, a Spanish teacher here at Wagner High School, is proudly sponsoring Friday Night Bulldogs. We hope you're able to see his little logo that he has in Van Taekwondo. Rick Van, a proud supporter of Friday Night Bulldogs, and we appreciate his support. As we are back to the action on the field, Wisley up under center. He's going to throw it this time, looking way downfield. He's got a receiver. And he lost it in the lights. We're going to say he lost it in the lights as number 41, Trey Harvey. He had 2 or 3 steps on the Bulldog defender.
Oh, Jeremy, he was gone, and really the quarterback, he put it on the money. It was in stride. It was in the numbers.
He
in the
just
center.
dropped it.
He just
dropped it.
And as we say in the football world, Rick, he put it in the worst possible place, in his hands.
In his hands.
So that bit of excitement turns into dismay for an Indian, if you're an Indian fan. So an incomplete pass makes it 2nd and 10. No, I'm sorry. That'll be 3rd and 7 now for the Indians. The ball is at the 25-yard line. Wisley up under center. Handoff, and there is Rodriguez again. And right now, Rick, we've called on the defensive side, number 44, Roman Rodriguez, has really stepped up.
He is shut him down, and that's exactly what needs to be happening at this point in the ball game.
And, Jeremy, it looks like we're going to see the punt team for Catoosa come on here on 4th down. And I'm who's logged in and listening once again.
And I want to say that Cody is in Hawaii, and I know it's rough for him to be able to be sitting in that, that godforsaken country of Hawaii. I know it's got to be rough as the Catoosa Indians were lucky to get that punt off, and Hawkins able to make the fair catch. But we do appreciate Cody Allison, and I believe he is still in the Army, and we appreciate not only him logging on for Friday Night Bulldogs, but Rick, I know veterans are near and dear to your heart, and we appreciate the service that Cody and all our veterans do across this great nation and this world.
We certainly do. We've seen the sacrifice they give in just their daily lives, and certainly in those who have given their lives.
A 1st and 10 for the Bulldogs. Ball outside their own 40-yard line. Here's Evett from the Wildcat, and we got early movement, Harlan.
Yeah, it looked like a false start there. I want to say the running back in the backfield moved just a little early for the Bulldogs there, and that is going to be the call. They're going to move it back. So Wagner will have it 1st and 10, but 5 yards longer to go. Excuse me, 1st and 15.
Yeah, that'll make it 1st and 15 now from the 36-yard line as number 12, Fisher Medlin, checks in the lineup for the Bulldogs. If you're joining us late in the season, you might have seen Fisher Medlin out there first game, Coweta Tigers, as the quarterback. A little bit of an injury, and you see him out there now maybe lined up as an X-back or a tight end. Here's Evett. Evett over the right side, and nothing doing there for the Bulldogs as the Catoosa Indians stack him up after about a 2-yard gain.
Yeah, they've been concentrating, seems like, here early on Evett. And so he just not had a whole lot of space. And the good news is, just like in the last drive, that's not the only threat that we have as Bulldogs fans. You got Hawkins back there. Woodson has shown that he can do a little bit of running. He can definitely do some passing as well. And so we'll see what the coaches have drawn up. 2nd down and long to go.
2nd and 13, the ball at the 37-yard line. Woodson up under center. Here's the inside handoff. Now trouble with the snap, and Woodson does well to be able to cover that ball up. And, Rick, you saw him. Basically, he was hugging that ball, making sure that nobody was going to strip it.
You got to hang on to the ball in a situation like that. You find yourself in a whole lot worse position than what you end up in.
Well,
actually.
a whole lot worse than 2nd and 13.
Yeah.
Fortunately for Bulldog fans, Woodson was able to cover up the ball. As we are in the waning seconds of the first quarter, we're under a minute left. This first quarter brought to you by Rick Van and Van Taekwondo. We appreciate his support of Friday Night Bulldogs on this 3rd and about. And now we've got another flag coming in, and Condit is we're about to see a man just go ballistic.
I think the word is livid.
And that might be putting it mildly, Rick, as this is I believe the 3rd, at least the 3rd, maybe the 4th penalty that the offense has for the Bulldogs has seen tonight.
Yeah, and they're just, they're not helping themselves any at all with these penalties. It was already 3rd and long. I think it's 3rd and from Catoosa right now. And so they got their work cut out for them here. We'll see if they keep it on the ground. That looked like the plan in that last play when Woodson, had a little bit of trouble there. But we'll see what they have playing now.
I formation, Lee and Evan in the backfield. Woodson's going to throw it. He's looking long to A.J. Freeth, and it's going to be over the head. It's actually intercepted by the Catoosa Indians, and that's just as good as a punt, Rick, as the ball is down to about the 25-yard line. He just overshot his intended receiver, Freeth, but, again, it might as well have been a punt.
With the same outcome, and except that we would have cheered a little bit louder had we caught it.
That was a 3rd and 21 play after all the penalties and the loss on a running play. So maybe that offensive series, maybe we got a little lucky on that one, Harlan.
A little lucky. You never want to see the interception there, but, 3rd and forever, you just throw it up, give him a chance. As soon as he threw it, I was like, that's overthrown. I didn't even think Catoosa was going to get to it, but he did. And Catoosa's on offense now.
Here's the quarterback, Wisley, trying to keep it on an option read, and it looks like Hawkins and Evett able to make the stop. And that is the end of the first quarter with the score. The Wagner Bulldogs 7, the Catoosa Indians 0. That first quarter, Rick, was brought to us by Rick Van and Van Taekwondo. I don't know how your Taekwondo skills are, but if you'd like to learn some, and Rick is real good. He's actually has taught a self-defense class also, not the full Taekwondo, but has had some female classes to teach self-defense. And unfortunately, we have to talk about those type of things.
We certainly do. Unfortunately, I'm not so much for Taekwondo. I've kind of round in the middle, like I've eaten the dough, but it's. Certainly, it's the society that we're living in today. Everybody's got to have some sort of self-defense, and so we can say, since he's also our Spanish teacher, we can say "Muchas gracias, Señor Van."
Es la verdad, I believe, is the truth in Spanish.
Es la verdad.
Es la verdad.
Cómo no.
We do thank Mr. Rick Van and Van Taekwondo for bringing us that first quarter of Friday Night Bulldogs. Harlan, it started out a little slow, had a little excitement with Hawkins on a long run. Outside of that, though, it was pretty much slow for the whole quarter.
It was slow, and the good news is right now the scoreboard says Bulldogs 7, Catoosa 0. The bad news is it feels like Catoosa's winning by 2 touchdowns. They really had some control with the running game. Their defense has played really well. It was really just that one run from Hawkins that has hurt them. And so the Wagner Bulldogs have some things to work on here as the second quarter gets underway.
This is the second quarter. Ball at the 25-yard line, a 2nd and 9 play. And here's a pitch out to the Catoosa Indians. And Deshaun Clark there to close the gap. But that was number 8, Devin Hemphill, for the Indians. Picks up good yardage on a 2nd down play. The ball will be placed at the 32-yard line. We're going to call it 3rd and a short 3, Harlan. We may see the Indians go to the air here or just pound it on the ground, as they've been pretty successful with that.
I'd expect to see him pound it on the ground. There was a great play by Clark by the Bulldogs to come up with that tackle. He avoided the blocker and able to bring him down behind the first down marker.
Here's Wisley. They are going to go to the air. He's got plenty of time. Now the pressure is getting to him. Wisley cuts it upfield, breaks a couple tackles, and gets across the 41 or across the 40 to the 41-yard line. Wisley able to weave in and out of traffic. Looked like the pocket was going to collapse. Made a positive play out of it. And if you're an Indian fan, he actually got a first down to sustain this drive.
First down for him there. He did a good job not getting too anxious when the pocket just completely went away, and able to make something out of nothing there.
1st and 10 Indians. Ball at the 40-yard line. Wisley up under center. Here's number 12 over the left side. There's Rodriguez again making the stop. But number 12, Fowler able to get, again, positive yardage to the 40, we'll call it just outside the 43-yard line. That's a pickup of 3. And right now, we may have some Bulldog fans, at least, in somewhat of a, not necessarily a panic, but at least in question mode, as right now, we haven't been able to stop this running game.
Not able to stop it, and I think I'd call it a silent shock is what I think when I hear what's going on this side of the field.
2nd and 6. And just as we said that, there's number 42, the freshman, K.J. Lee, making a stop in the backfield for a loss.
Yeah, and that's Bulldog fans had something to clap about that time, but very quickly still got pretty hush-hush right afterwards. So they're just going, all right, that was good. Let's see what this happens. Let's see what happens next.
That was a loss of 3 back to the 41-yard line after that 4-yard gain on a second or a first down play. So 3rd and 9, Rick, are you going to the air or are you staying on the ground?
Jeremy, here in just a second or two, I'll tell you.
Wisley up under center on a 3rd down play. He's going to go to the air, got a man out in the flat, makes the catch, and is hit right at the sticks. I believe that was Clark. And
I don't think he got there, Jeremy.
No, I don't think he did.
It's going to be
either.
really close, depending on where the referee spots it. They may bring this one out to measure.
It was a good play call, Rick, as Wisley was able to roll to his left, look, and got Fowler in the flat, and let your receiver just give him an opportunity to make a play. Unfortunately, he came up short.
Yeah, referees marked him short there just barely, and they called it 4th down, no measurement. Big 4th down play for the Bulldog defense.
At midfield, quarterback Wisley just goes ahead forward, and there's no question about it, Rick. He got the first down.
He got the first down. Number 7, he lost his helmet again.
And that time, Wilsley for the Indians, he basically just took the snap and he was thinking about just following forward. Then all of a sudden, I think he realized, hey, there's a little bit of space here up the middle.
Yeah.
Doesn't get a whole lot, but the biggest thing is he got the first down, and the Indians are going to continue this drive here. It's not pretty. It's not, huge chunks of yardage, but they're moving in the positive direction.
He needed 2 inches. He got about 2 yards. So it's a 1st and 10 for the Indians. The ball at the Bulldog 48-yard line. Here's Wisley up under center, makes the handoff over the right side. That was Hawkins trying to make the tackle in the strip. He had help behind him, Henderson and Cantrell. That was number 8, Devin Hemphill, and he was able to pick up positive yardage to the Bulldog 45-yard line. So we're going to give him a gain of 3 on the play. 2nd and 7 for the Indians.
You expect here, Jeremy, to see just more of the same, more of the running game, more of the running attack, and they're coming back out in sort of that pro set type formation.
Well, Harlan, it does seem to be working for him, unfortunately, for the Bulldogs. Hey, there's a good one.
That's a read option, and that time he read it wrong as he handed off to Hemphill, and the Bulldog defensive lineman, interior lineman, stacked him up right at the line of scrimmage. Marshall leading the charge for the Bulldogs, and this will be a 3rd and 5 for the Indians. The ball is just inside the Bulldog 45-yard line. It's 7:55 left in this second quarter. And really, Rick, that's been all Indians, at least for this second quarter.
It has indeed, Jeremy, but it's been more of a football game as a competitor, from a competitor's point of view, than any other game we've had this year. So.
Yeah, that's a good point. As K.J. Lee, he was tackling everybody on that play as he hit a lineman, drove him back into the backfield, and then found somebody with the ball, and that's always a good thing.
That's always a good thing.
We're not going to give him anything on that play, so it's a 4th and 5. Very interesting decision here for the Indians, as we've already seen them go for it on 4th down once. Doesn't look like they're going to do it here, though.
Well, you never know if they're actually going to kick it or not. He has it in his hands now. The kick is off and in the air, and it looks like the Bulldogs going to call a fair catch back there. It was Hawkins on the fair catch call.
A very dangerous fair catch, as there were Indians all around him. But again, a nice heads-up play by Hawkins, knowing that he already made the fair catch and knowing that those Indians were right in his face. He's probably going to get a penalty there he knew that he was going to get a penalty even if he was to bobble that punt.
Exactly right.
Yeah, they're all around him. They're, if he has to take a step forward to get the ball, he has control of that space to be able to make that catch. And I think you're right, Jeremy. I think we would have seen a flag in that situation. Bulldogs going to take over 1st and 10.
1st and 10 for the Bulldogs. The ball at the 19-yard line. Here's Woodson from the shotgun, straight up the middle for Evatt. Evatt into the Indian secretary. How about the secondary? Okay. And we are across the 25-yard line. We'll spot it at the 26-yard line. A gain of 7 on the play. 2nd and 3. Ball at the 26-yard line. 6 minutes and 35 seconds in this second quarter.
Yeah, and the Bulldogs coming back out to the line of scrimmage now, and it'll be interesting to watch how they line up here, Jeremy. It looks like Woodson's going to take them under center here as they're in that diamond-type formation.
And here's Woodson going to keep it himself. Might have been a busted play. Woodson showing some wherewithal as he makes a busted play into a nice positive play.
Absolutely. Another first down.
Another first down, but more confusion, and that's kind of been the story so far for the Bulldogs on offense. Is confusion, false starts, blocks in the back, everything else going on. But that time around, Woodson able to make a great decision and make some positive yards, first down for the Bulldogs.
You can't help but to wonder, Jeremy, if the Dogs haven't gotten a little too overconfident in the previous games, because they've just literally run away with all the other teams.
And maybe that's what we're seeing as Lee takes the short handoff for positive yardage. Not much, but it is positive yardage. Rick, you may be onto something there. We haven't really seen what we're seeing right now. Of course, it may be we give, as far as right now, we'll give some credit to the Catoosa Indian defense, as besides that play of Hawkins, have really contained the Bulldog offense.
They have indeed, and we're going to have to work for every point we get this time. They're not giving it to us like they seem to have been doing.
Gone. He's
And Jeremy.
5. But and aim time. I guess
Jack. That's
watch.